What is up, YouTube? It's Grinch, and I am here in my new Lego room in my new house, and I'm just going to give you a quick update of all the changes that I've made, all the changes to come. This is going to be part one of Undecided. I probably three, actually probably four, because I'm going to do one specifically for how I do the doors, because that's been a little bit of a struggle. Full disclosure, I actually lost like a month of time or so doing these stupid doors because I just couldn't get them right, and I wanted to do it in a very specific way. And so when I was kind of preparing for all this, I actually got the plexiglass is right there. I got that pre-cut because plexiglass is really annoying to cut. So it's either like throw away like $1,000 worth of plexiglass or figure out a way to use it. So I had to figure out a way to use it, of course, and all good. I finally figured it out. I'll give you a little teaser on how I'm doing that, but right now it's just going to be part one, kind of what I've changed, why I've changed it, kind of what's to come with the display. There'll probably be another part, maybe a smaller update when I get everything done, and then I'm going to do like a true like 1 hour long, probably. I don't know. I can yap about Lego for a while, so we'll see how long the actual collection walkthrough video is. But kind of like how I done before with my last collection update, where I went through everything. Obviously, the collection's a little bit bigger, but now we'll have way more display space, as you're about to see. So there'll also be more Lego on display, which I might not have previously had on display. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so we were looking behind me at all the Lego, my Lego collection. You can see it goes all the way over there. So I did open up just a couple of boxes to get everything, just kind of get some stuff organized, moved out of the way, get a little bit of Lego on the shelf to get an idea of what I'm dealing with. But here is the new room, so you can see quite a bit larger already than what I previously had. I do apologize about the mess and stuff. Obviously, this is a work in progress, but here's the big reveal. Oh man, I love it. I love it. I love all the lights. Biggest difference so far is that I've actually changed to white shelves. I had the kind of darker brown, black brown shelves, and I've actually changed that to white shelves now. I'm going to put this little guy down. This is how I turned it off. I'll show you what the little connector looks like in case anybody is interested. It's just a little switch. It's called Bin Link or BN Link. I got it on Amazon. It comes with 5 little outputs where you can control the outlets. In this case, I've got 3 hooked on, so if I just hit 3, it gets all the lights on for me. But I'm going to put that down so I don't have to carry it. I changed to white shelves primarily because I just think it looks a little bit better on display. A couple benefits of the black shelves are you don't have to really worry about like dirtiness of the shelves. For example, I mean like the literal shelf, like you can see there's just a little scuff. So I'm going to have to do just a little bit more maintenance with that. But the benefit of the white shelf is that it uses or needs tremendously less light. And that was important. For example, on the bigger black shelves that I had before, they were 39 inches, so they went to about here. These are 30 inches. So, you know, they went to about here, so they were quite a bit wider. Those were the IKEA packs. These I actually custom made, and I would have to use 2 light strands to get all the way across those. I only need 1 here, and so it's on the lighter side, but because the shelf is white, it fully illuminates it really, really well. And I didn't have any illumination issues last time. I just can use way less lights this way, and it also gets more illuminated by using the same amount of lights too, right, where I am. So that's why I did it. Like I mentioned, I actually custom made these 5 shelves, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Made them out of wood. And the reason I did that is because I wanted a very specific depth. I wanted 20 inches, and you just cannot find shelves that are that deep at all. The shelves that I used before, those were a wardrobe that was called the IKEA Packs. I would, in fact, recommend those. The reason I'm not using them is because I move quite often, and these are lighter. Those shelves use the compressed MDF board. This is just regular plywood, so they're a little bit lighter because they're just not as long, believe it or not. Like, really, the shelves add a ton of weight, and it's a little bit thinner wood because it's real wood than those other shelves, so it's just a little bit less material that makes it lighter. It's also more sturdy. The issue with those pack shelves is they're wardrobes, and they're not really meant to be moved. So unfortunately, they survived my last move, or 2 moves ago, but this last move they were pretty beat up, so I knew I needed to refresh those big cases anyway, so I decided to custom build. But if you weren't planning on moving, or were only going to move once, maybe twice max in your life, I think definitely check those packs out because this takes so much work. I mean, getting a piece of plywood and ripping it down to all your cuts. I mean, this was a 4 foot by 8 foot piece of plywood that I made into the shelves and the sides here. So that definitely took a ton of work. It probably took, I mean, 2 or 3 weekends worth of work just for these 5 shelves. So that's part of the reason this is also taking me a lot longer than I wanted to. I wanted to have Lego on the shelf by now and be totally done, but alas, I'm taking the time to do this and do it right. So eventually when I move again, I'm not gonna have to, it's not gonna take me as long because all the shelves will be done, right? I can just get Lego on the shelf and that'll be it. So that's why this is taking me just a little bit longer, but I am starting to get a little bit of Lego on the shelves as I grow impatient waiting for this. But I've got quite a bit of other stuff to finish up here too. You'll notice some of them don't have shelves in them yet, or lights. That's because I'm not quite done with them. I'll have to get to that next weekend, but let's walk through them. So these shelves, I had the Billies before. These are called the IKEA Besta. It's another IKEA shelf, and they're really the same height, but the biggest difference between these and the Billies is the depth. So the Billy is about 11 inches. So I think if you use these 2 holes right here, that's about 11 inches or 10. Actually, sorry, the shelf itself is like 10 inches. So, if you pull a line right there, that's the Billy. This shelf is about 50% longer, or wider, I should say, or deeper. I'm sorry, deeper than those Billy shelves. So that means you can really get just a little bit more on the shelf. And I don't have a concern with length, right? It's like I don't need to just get from here to here. I've got all of this room. So for me, I really was emphasizing the importance of that depth piece, because this, in my mind, looks a lot better than having this all slammed in here like that. So for example, if this were the Billy, draw an imaginary line right here, anything on this side of it would not be able to be on that shelf. Now, you could argue, yes, it'd be a little bit longer. These are 24 inches, the Billy would be about 6 inches longer. You could get more this way. I prefer to just get a little bit more of that depth-wise, and then anything oversized is going to go in here, right? So that's why I did this. I just like having a little bit more depth in my display. It allows you to actually kind of display things better, a little bit nicer, because you can have layers of depth, right? You have a depth of field. I've got a front area right here. I'm just using this shelf as an example. I've got a middle area, and then I got a back area. In some cases, you might just have a back area and a front area, but on those Billies, it was really difficult, right? So I have the idea of kind of playing around with displays a little bit here. It also, because it's deeper, allows you to fit stuff like this on the shelf. Previously this wouldn't fit on the shelf. It was just too kind of awkward and long. Stuff like this wouldn't have fit on a Billy. Neither would have this. It was just too big. Even that wouldn't have, believe it or not. So that's why I did these IKEA Besta shelves. They also come in half sizes, just like the Billy. And then over here, this is something I'm experimenting with. As you can tell, I don't have a ton of room to expand. Over there is going to be parts and pieces that'll be way later. because I don't do a ton of mock building, but I need to get all that organized. Little building table right here. So I got a little bit of room. I can maybe put some more shelves there. I could maybe put a couple more right here, but that's really it. So what I'm doing is I'm actually testing with this to see how this works. This is just 2 of these put on their sides and then screwed together. And you actually can screw them together this way. You're not supposed to turn on its side, but you can screw them together that way to lock them together. Like it comes with that hardware to do that. So I thought, let me screw them together and flip it, and then I have a really long shelf, really long and uninterrupted. And so what my plan is here is to just get a little bit of weight on it. Lego's not crazy heavy, and this is real wood. It's not the that cardboardy stuff. So it is particle board, but it's not. You know, sometimes they have little cardboard rivets in these. That's not this. This is a solid piece. And so I don't think, you know, see, there's not a ton of give, if any, on here, and I'm putting, you know, probably 60 pounds of pressure on that with my arm. So I'm going to test it out, see how that works. If I get any sagging at all, I'm just going to simply put a little piece right here of support, and that's going to be it. But this will allow me to get a really nice, long, and uninterrupted view, and I think that'll be really cool. I mean, could you imagine Ninjago City right here, or just a little bit more of like a Star Wars diorama? I don't really collect Star Wars, but you know, I know a lot of people do. So you know, if you got ATTE over here, you've got your Hoth setup, right? You got your little Echo Base over here, your ATT Walker, AT-AT Walker, Snow Trooper, Snow Speeders all over. I mean, that'd look really cool. So that just kind of gives me some flexibility. So you know, there's plenty of shelves like this, right? There's plenty of those shelves. This is just another way to display it. So my thought is, if I need any more shelf space, I'm going to maybe see how that does, put that over there, maybe do one of them 3 tall and put it right there. I think that would look really cool. So just kind of using that as a little test area because I had that window back there. So yeah, let's talk quickly about the modulars. You can see I've got 2 modulars up here. That's not their final resting spot. I just have them up there and out of the way for right now. They're actually going to go on here. I'm just waiting to get lights and shelves in these ones. The lights are on the way. And the reason I'm waiting is because, you know, I got to get them nice and level like that. So these are pretty good. There's going to be a little bit of gap. It's not like perfect, but it's pretty darn good, to be honest. So I'm gonna get these ones all set up, and then I'll start getting modulars on here. And I also just, this is like the perfect height for me. I'm 5'8", where I can actually work on here on Legos. So I'm bringing them over here. You can see I'm kind of unpacking everything. I'm keeping all the bags. I just have minifigures down here for right now, so I can reuse the bags. It helps keep me organized. 2 gallon, 1 gallon, quarter sandwich snack bag, and then that way I'll be organized, put the bags back so I can reuse them for the next move. But what I'm going to do with the modulars is they're going to go up here. One of these shelves can actually fit 2 modulars, as you can see there. And I'm going to put them on here. Again, these are bigger than the Billy, so the modular can fit here. And I'm going to put a road plate just like that. And that's going to allow me to have just a nice scene of modulars. And if you can fit 2 modulars on each one of these, that means I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 modulars on each side, 24 modulars in total. So I don't even think they've come out with 24 modulars. I have them all. I think it's 20. So this is going to be modular row. I think that's going to look super cool and super good there. Actually, it might not be 20. It's probably like 16, I think. So I'll have some additional room over there for the oversized modulars as well. So that's the space so far. I wanted to share what I've done with the lighting. So I use this brand. It's called C. Frank. I get these on Amazon, C. Frank LED strip lights. I can maybe I can link them if anybody's interested in the description. But I use them because it uses this system out of the box. I'm not like an electrical person or don't really have a lot of experience with electricity stuff. So this just slides into the back of these lights right here. Just slides into that, and then you can also remove this and chain multiple lights together. So each shelf has just one of these on there, and then this just hooks right up to it. I'll give you a tour of the back of those so you can kind of see, you know, how it hooks up on the back end, but it comes with everything you need. Probably overpay a little bit for something like this versus, you know, getting LED light strips yourself and kind of doing some of the soldering and wiring, but this is like the only time I ever use lighting stuff, so for me it's worth like a $5 overpay per set. So and then I also take one of these. This is just a regular wire hider, cut it down. They come in 6-foot or 5-foot pieces. Throw that up here, you can see, just keeps the wire all nice and neat, keeps it from doing that one's a little bit short over there. I need to fix it. And then I have a little piece of molding that's right here, and you can see I just screwed on there, there, and there, and that's a little curved piece. You can see it's just curved like that. It's a little piece of molding. It's about 1 inch by 1 inch and then curved, and then the brackets right here actually come with the light kit, and I just mount the brackets onto there and I mount the light in there, and that's what the end product looks like. So I think that looks really good. You use this for 2 reasons. Obviously it hides the light, which gives it a nice cleaner look, just like that. See, you can't see a big old ugly light on there. Otherwise you'd see the light and it'd be kind of ugly in my opinion, kind of like that. See, you don't want to be seeing that. And then also the second reason is, since that's curved, it helps you get the light actually mounted at a curve, so it's projecting the light across the entire display area and not just straight down, so you can get, you know, a little bit more or a little bit better light coverage. You can see there how it's like right down onto it. So that's the light. That's the new display area. Let me show you what I'm doing with the doors. This has been a little bit of a journey here. At first, my whole idea was always to do magnets. So my plexiglass is cut from this side to this side. So it's a frameless door is what that's called. Typically, you'd have a door sit on the inside, right? If you think about your house, you open the door like this, right? The door is on the inside of a frame. In this case, the door is the frame, so it's frameless. And then you put your hinge on there, right? And you open it up, you got your little hinge sitting on the outside. When you got cases butted up against each other like this, it's hard to have, you can't have a hinge here without having the other case hit it. So you can use a cabinet door frame. However, then you need something to attach it to, probably out to here. So then I'd have this big piece of wood coming off here about 3 inches, which was kind of what I was trying to avoid with the whole frameless thing in the first place. So what I've done is I've got some wood there. It's just 1 inch long, and that's going to cover the outside of this. So this is 3/4 of an inch, so 1 inch is just going to have a 1/4 inch overlap. That's going to go around the outside of the plexiglass, and that's going to attach it to the shelf. Originally I had magnetic tape up here and a magnet here and also down there. But the issue is that the magnets here, to be the same size as the magnetic tape, were super brittle. So when I was attaching them, they were breaking on me. So I was like, crap, I can't do that. The magnetic tape wasn't really strong enough on its own to get it up there. Plus it was super expensive, so wasted a little bit of money on that. But to do all of these, right, magnetic tape on both sides would be just crazy. So then I looked at different hinges. Again, I kind of shared the issue with that, is you need something for the hinge to attach to. And then also, you know, I found these L-shaped ones, but then I'd have to cut probably this much of this out. They were already all on here. That would have been super annoying, so that I could have the hinge come off from up here and down below at least, so that it was, you know, if I had to cut off part of the viewing angle, I could cut off maybe 3 inches up here. But again, then you need to affix it to something. The door gets heavier, the door gets wider. So what I've done here is these are 20-pound weighted magnets, and they just attach right on there, and there's this casing on the outside of them, and that helps actually protect them so that they don't break, because they're high power magnets, right? And then this is actually screwed in there. I'm using something called E6000 too, so I put a little dollop on the back of this, I screw it on here, and then it gets really nice and affixed to it. You can still technically get this E6000 off like this, but you will damage the surface of it, so you want to make sure it's pretty much permanent. So you want to make sure that's where you want to put it. and then I put some weather stripping up here, and that's going to dust proof it for me. So as you can see here, we've got our magnet. If I put this magnet on here, you can see that it just comes off just a little bit. It's a little bit bigger than those two magnets stacked onto each other, which is exactly what I want, because that means that this weather stripping is going to be pressed up against there, so it can go from 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch all the way out to 1/2 of an inch, and that's going to make it so that these shelves are dust proof, which is going to be awesome. And then there's going to be a nice long windowed area here, uninterrupted, so no bars going across it, anything like that. That way, you know, if I have a bar going across the middle of it, it interrupts my view of the middle shelf, right? If I've got a bar going down the middle of it, then it interrupts the view of the middle of the shelf. If I've got a bar going here, that's fine. Besta does have doors, but if I move this shelf, all of a sudden it's going to be halfway, you know, through the door. So that's why I did it this way. These doors are just going to attach to this and then be able to be pulled off. So that's why I'm saving the door update till the end, because obviously if I pull all the doors off, I got to put all the doors somewhere. That's not an issue, right? I can pile them up over here, but I want to put the Lego in here. So get all the Lego in here, then get the doors on there, and then maintain. So I think it's going to look really, really good. I'm really looking forward to seeing this whole room completely done. So let's go check out the wiring back here on these shelves. All right, so here is the wiring for the shelves. I've got a little bit of a system here. I've labeled these actually for the inevitable move. 1L, 1 left. So I know the first one starts on the left side. That means number 2 is on the right, 3, 4, 5. And then what I've done is I've labeled my outputs here. So these are little holes that I drilled. Put the wire through there. So they're not 100% dust proof because that little hole, but literally that's the only place dust can come in. That's awesome. And then I've labeled the little receiver. These attach. See that? I don't even know what that's called, but uses that it uses this connection. That's my technical term. And then I attach that right into there. Label that one, label these one, and that way I know if these get unhooked, you know, hey, this one goes here, goes to 1 right there, right? And the reason I do that is because 4 lights can hook into this. So this 5th shelf is number 2 and it's connected over there. So that's just the system I'm using, just so if I remove or anything like that, I know, okay, where's 1? 1's right here. Okay, these 4 attach here. And that way I can just keep things nice and organized. I also kind of tied off the wires there to just try to keep everything nice and bunched up. I do have some cats, and then, you know, that way if you've got, you know, pets or cats or little prying arms grabbing on stuff because you got kids or something like that, that way you don't have to worry about or worry less about it, and it's just a little bit neater for you. Plus, I think it just looks better than having a bunch of crap dangling along back here. All right, so that is the new Lego setup. I am super excited. I kind of measured it out in my mind. So the old shelves were 39 inches and these are 30 inches. So doing a little bit of math, 39 times 30 is what, 117, right? Is that right? Yeah, 117. So 117 inches before in those bigger ones. 30 times 5 is 150. So just there in the oversized area, I've got about 50% more space. Those billies were about 30 inches. And there were 4 of them. So 4 times 30, again, 120. These are 24 inches, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 24, right? We're talking about 140, 164 inches. And then I didn't even count these ones yet. So there is literally twice the amount of room in total. I know I had the little middle section before too, but you know, that was probably equivalent to like 2 of these. So I'm really excited about getting all this space. And then, you know, just possibility for a little bit more expansion over there. Just a little bit if needed. But you know, getting everything out. That way I don't have to like choose what's on display. I can have everything on display. And I think so far, at least from what I'm seeing, the shelves are looking really good. So what I'll do is, again, I'll do part 2. It will be a quicker update. I'm not going to yap for as long about the shelves, but I wanted to explain the thought process. I put a lot of thought into this. And then That way there's no questions. But if there are questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. And then in part 2, if somebody's like, I don't understand what you did for lights, like, you know, I need this information. Cool, we can go over it then, or I can add that information to that second part for anybody who's interested. So if you have a question, I'll try to answer it in that next video. If it comes out after that video, I'll make sure I comment. But yeah, then after that, I'll get all the actual Lego out here, do the full tour, and then just a quick update to show you exactly what I did with the doors, how that works, what all that looks like, and the kind of complete model. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.